Hey, cool kids. I wanted to take a quick break and tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. This is how all of Wash Media's podcasts are done, including Club Cool right here. It is so easy. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And then Anchor distributes the entire thing for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. I'm sure you've heard of some of these other little platforms that maybe friends or family listen to. Anchor makes it easy. It just puts your podcast on all of them. You don't even have to think about trying to get it on each individual platform. And guess what else? You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I have used other, platforms and apps to get this podcast out. Nothing has ever been as seamless or intuitive or as fun to kind of look at and play with as Anchor. So check it out. Makes it very easy. Anybody can put out a podcast and make money from it. So once again, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome to the club.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another edition of the Club Cool podcast. I'm your host, Barrett Dudley, here in the Wash Media Studios, brought to you by Wash Media. Joined again, delighted for his return by the one, the only. It's Mr. Phil Battaglia.
Hi,
Phil, what's going on?
What up?
Not too much, man. Just a couple of half-vaxxed bros hanging out in a small room together, feeling pretty good about
Feeling good.
No, seriously, it's our biggest cop of 2021 so far, and after much thought, after I like to investigate brands, like to think about my options. Next year, I think I'm going J&J.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You have to. I can tell you this right now. Next year, I won't be doing two shots.
Right. I feel like I feel like they're probably going to phase that out anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
As surely, but like next year, I think that the illness in general will be less of like it won't be as damaging. It won't be as severe. More people will have the antibodies. Our bodies will start adapting more, and I think we can just kind of cull these first two, which did come at warp speed, but came with, needing to be like freezing cold and two shots and spaced way apart. And J&J, they got that thing figured out. It's, not quite the same
Or do they?
efficacy.
They had some issues in the news recently.
Is that right? J&J did.
Bad batch.
Bad batch. Oh, right.
Bad batch.
They had to toss. What was it, like 14 million doses or something like that? A lot of doses. Well, I saw a stat that this was from a couple weeks ago that 100 million people had the jab. We're all saying jab now, by the way. Have you heard this word?
No.
You have not seen
I'm
this?
sick of watching the jab over and over and over again on the news. Can't they show something else?
Jab is apparently that's a word. I think maybe it's the Europeans might use it more, but the number of times that I've seen the word jab over the last couple of weeks, it's like, just an exponential increase from 2 months ago. So,
You're in on jab.
So I'm in on jab.
All right.
Yeah, but I want one jab, not two jabs. Anyway, we had given out 100 million jabs here in the States. 40 million jabs had gone to waste.
Due to what? Just nobody taking them?
Yeah, leftovers, failed appointments, just not having a system or enough people or enough infrastructure to get those out, basically. Yeah. Which is mildly upsetting, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully these double mutant variants don't come and get us all. But anyway, yeah, just I think I'm going J&J next year. That's what I'm looking to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ran into
I'm canceling AstraZeneca. No AstraZeneca for me.
No.
Definitely don't want that one.
Red flags. Ran into former TFM writer, now with the Chive, Bush. At Tom's recently.
The mighty Bush.
He made a great comment. He said that he felt like the Pfizer vaccine was more of like a high-end option.
Uh-huh.
So that's what he decided. He was going with the higher end. And then Moderna was kind of like
I mean,
the cheaper way.
Because of the timelines, I understand that sentiment that Pfizer is quicker. So it's the double shot, but you get the second dose faster.
Yeah.
And then your waiting period after you get second dose to have, your full suit of armor basically is only 1 week as opposed to 2, I believe. So all in all, it chops 2 weeks off, and that does make it feel far more luxurious.
See, Ashley went Moderna because she was a teacher and that was the first wave.
Yeah.
I'm going Pfizer, so that's a good case study for like years down the road when we both develop.
When you both become I Am Legend zombies?
Exactly.
Yeah. Which one? Which one? Yeah, and you guys are you've got a lot of constants. You're living in the same place, eating the same food,
right.
like the whole thing.
It's
so
a great case.
There aren't a bunch of variables here. Yeah, so
I'm just
we'll
I love
put you down. We'll get you in this. We'll get you in the Library of Congress, maybe the Smithsonian too.
I need to get on that Q documentary. I just don't have HBO Max.
Yeah, I finished it last night actually, and
you could talk about jab that straight into my veins. I love Q. Love him.
Do you? Okay, so you love Q.
I love it. It is. It's just.
I mean, it's
endless entertainment.
It's utterly terrifying.
It's great,
is what it is. But you definitely need to watch that.
Oh, I will.
Do you in your just Q reading and research? Have you ever come across like who people think Q is?
No.
Okay.
What? It wasn't Trump?
No, apparently not. No. Also likely.
Do they allude to this in the documentary?
Oh, they basically.
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you, but yes, they have an answer.
Okay, good.
It gives you an answer.
And they assume that this person is the one that was originally tweeting from that handle or contributing to Reddit or whatever the fuck it was, 4chan?
8chan. 4chan originally, then 8chan. Well, I'll say this, and this is a. Can I give you a minor spoiler?
Yeah.
There is a point in time where the tone and the style of writing shifts from Q's style of writing and his tone. From that point forward is when they believe they know who Q is, who's been behind it.
Love it.
Prior to that, who was the original one making the posts, could be the same person, but unclear. Also could have been a different original person doing the drops, if you will.
So it wasn't the guy in the cute little horn fur outfit that stormed the Capitol.
It was not him, but he pops up in the documentary like well before the Capitol insurgency happened, and it's pretty wild because you're doing the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where you're like, oh my god, that guy, it's that guy. Hey, it's him. It's the shaman. It's the Q shaman. So but yeah, really, definitely worth watching. It's wild. It's a well done documentary. It's cool.
Man, I would binge that.
Oh yeah, only 6 eps, man. Yeah,
I'm in.
So, oh man, what do we got today? I want to talk. There's a performance brand that I want to talk about today, and I'm going to use that to segue into talk about another performance brand. Unfortunately, I was supposed to have a delivery of a pair of these shoes arrive by 10:30 a.m. this morning.
Not there yet.
Guess what? Didn't happen. Which brings me to my first question. One of the things that the pandemic hath wrought is just a total cluster catastrophe of shipping, logistics, delivery, all of that. Prior to the pandy, we were upset if we weren't getting things in 2 days.
Yeah.
If something comes UPS ground, okay, fine, 3, but it better be there in 3. And if not, I'm writing a strongly worded email to the place where I bought it from, being like, hey, bruh, what's up with my, where's
my stuff?
Where's my stuff, man? Amazon treated us. They spoiled us with their 1-day delivery, and that's all over. It's seemingly all over. USPS is an absolute mess. Stuff just gets stuck at whichever hub for days on end at times. Sometimes, you'll see the roundabout where it's coming from New York, coming down to Texas, and for some reason it ends up in LA for a day. And then it's back in Arkansas, and then down to it's just It's a disaster. And distribution centers are backed up. All of the the companies are having issues. I never get anything when it says it's going to come anymore, like with the timing wise, basically.
Oh, right.
Sometimes it'll come on the appropriate day, on the right day, but never at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering, like, is this is this kind of a course correction? Do you think that we're just course correcting? Do you think it was too good? They were spending too much money and burning too much gas.
No.
For the delivery to be that good.
It'll get better.
You think it'll
That's all
rebound?
They care about. That's like half of their marketing is like about the delivery process. Now Amazon's touting they're going to be by 2040, I think, like
2040? I don't care about 2040.
net carbon.
What
There's going to be drones.
Yes, what happened to the drones? They touted these drones. Look, Amazon is kind of the big bad. I don't know really which way to feel about them. I don't think they're great, but I don't think they're, the root of all evil either, right? Like I'm somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would very much champion is Amazon is the only one that seems to have figured out and regained their footing on this whole shipping thing. They don't even they've got their entire system, and they've got their own trucks now. Like everything that comes from Amazon pretty much is being thrown onto your yard out of a big blue and gray truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. What can we just make them the de facto USPS?
Right.
Like, let's just replace UPS, FedEx, and USPS all with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Just let them do that. They seem to have it all figured out. Plus, they were promising us drones like 3 years ago. What happened to the drones? You got to think those are around the corner.
I don't want the drones. Think about those things buzzing around all day. I get kind of like caught off guard when a helicopter buzzes over.
Yeah.
I watch like a little kid.
Yeah.
But think about hundreds of drones just constantly buzzing overhead.
You don't want to be one step closer to the singularity?
No, I'm all right.
Okay. Well, so no drones for you.
No drones for me.
I would.
What could they do anyway? They can't carry that much.
I think they can.
And if they can, think about if one of those loads gets dropped on 360 refrigerator out of the sky on top of your car. Huh?
Yeah. Well,
that's just the price you pay.
They have to stay off the freeways. I'm
okay.
pretty sure. No flying over freeways.
The most efficient routes. They have to avoid those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They all back roads. They have to circumvent the city.
That's another take.
Come up from the flanks.
I would love nothing more than to get rid of all 18-wheeler trucks on the major freeways.
Well, that's definitely not happening.
It should.
What's happening there, you just pretty soon there won't be any drivers in them anymore.
Well, I'm okay with that, actually.
Okay, yeah. I'm
totally.
I've never seen one. I've never seen one of the unmanned 18-wheelers on roads and highways. But there's plenty of videos of them. They're out there already.
They're going to manufacture the Tesla big rig here.
That's one of the things that they're manufacturing here.
Mm-hmm. Get you one.
Well, I'll be damned. You know what I like is that I'm actually glad we're touching on this. You seen all the commercials recently for the new Hummer EV?
Yeah.
That thing is tight. That thing is very tight.
The only Hummer I like is the old school tanks.
I was a big. Is this surprising? I was a big Hummer guy.
Wait, you were a big like H2 guy?
H2 guy,
oh,
yes.
No.
I mean, I loved the classic Hummers as well.
Uh-huh.
Those were I definitely had a soft spot for those.
But you would have purchased.
But of course, I loved the H2. Absolutely. You could fit 28-inch rims on an H2.
You. What about the H3?
So
that's a terrible vehicle.
So I agree with you now.
But you were in on the H3.
But I was in on the H3 because it was a potential car that I could see like, oh, maybe I can talk my parents into getting me an H3.
Yourself
Look,
in this.
You couldn't do 32s on anything but an H2. And that's you know what I mean? Like this was only happening on a Hummer H2.
This is that Houston.
This is that
rubbing
Houston
off
swag.
on you.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, come on. You tell me that's not tight?
Wow. I'd love to see it, dude.
Yeah. So, but the new Hummer EV, the reason I like that is because
it's $100,000.
Well, because I like the back wheels tilting
yeah.
and making it move like as a friend called it moves like the Warthog in Halo. And I don't know if you ever played Halo, but
No, I didn't.
that it's basically it kind of looks like one, and that's how it drives too, with those back wheels doing all sorts of crazy shit.
Crab walk is what they call that.
The crab walk,
Mhm.
yeah, it's very I don't know, it's very futuristic. So I'm just that's
You're in on the future.
One of those drones comes flying
Right.
overhead and drops the refrigerator, and you just let those back wheels kick in
Yeah.
and warthog your way out.
Yeah.
Crab walk your way out from under it.
Mhm.
Boom, you're safe from the dropped refrigerator.
You're part of the problem, Barrett. You're gonna be the guy that has like all the Tesla equipment hanging off his house with drones overhead hovering constantly delivering shit. And you'll have one of the you'll be on one of those one-wheel Segways. You seen these guys?
Well, I just want let me just get Segway wheels just like
Implanted.
into my
Yeah.
into my feet. Yeah. Speaking of off-road vehicles, though, I'm sure you're aware of these new Land Rover Defenders.
Now those I'm into.
Okay. Apparently, you cannot get them.
Really?
Or they're just very hard to get.
Uh-huh.
Long wait lists. People are paying well over retail. And I have discovered recently, I'm in Clarksville a couple times a week.
They're everywhere.
Around Austin. The reason that you can't get one is because all of the rich folks in Austin already have them.
That's correct.
So I pulled up behind
Look at that one.
this one, which I can only the other ones that I've seen were not like this.
Uh-huh.
This was like the full on. This dude walked into the Land Rover dealership and said, the one that you're using in all the marketing materials,
That's the one I want.
where it's like, starting at $97,000, but this one is like $157.
Yeah.
I want the one that's $157. So if you're watching on youtube.com/washmedia, then you can see this up on our screens. If not, I'll have to drop this on the Instagram account. But this one was like this beautiful olive safari green, had the big white ceramic looking wheels, and the ladder, the gearbox over on the side, the roof thing for all your fly fishing rods, I guess, or whatever.
That's
else
a pop-up sleeper.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. See, you could live in that
See,
thing.
this is all about function, is what you're saying.
Yes.
This is because you're outdoorsy and you like to go into the wilderness, not because you're flexing on all the city folk.
Let me
with
tell
the,
you something.
with the hottest whip in the game.
He's not outdoorsy, this guy.
So I pulled up next to this guy and I got a good look at him, and there's Texas plates. So, but if the plates hadn't been Texas plates, I would have thought that this was David Letterman.
Oh, is Letterman a big Defender guy?
No, but
The beard.
but he looked like mountain man, fly
Mhm.
fisherman David Letterman. He had like on like wireframe glasses and like kind of like a bushy white beard.
Huh.
And I
Good for him. Maybe he is outdoorsy.
I don't know.
I can assure you this, he's more outdoorsy than your boy, me.
Than you. Yeah. I mean, we got to give him a little bit of credit. He's probably more outdoorsy than the guy buying a Hummer EV.
Uh-huh. You.
Me. No, but I mean, pound for pound, I'm definitely taking this.
That's a hell of a car.
I don't know. These are 100,000, right?
They can get up to that.
They can get up to
Yeah.
that. That one with all that stuff is probably 100, right?
Probably.
Got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is
That's beautiful.
it's a force, but it was very dope. So I'm not in the practice of snapping photos of cars on the street, but I had to shoot that. I had to flick that one up.
Yeah. Don't forget that John Mayer was the first time I ever saw the Defender was they did that ad campaign with him.
Oh.
They gave him one to go camping in, or assuming that that's what was going on.
Yeah. Well, now I'm even more into it.
Yeah, exactly.
But before we jump into shoes and performance stuff here, I did have to throw these up on the screen.
Oh,
2020's shoe of the year as voted by the cool kids.
you've already had those.
I had those, yeah. But I busted these out for the first time because we've got this awful humid spring weather here in April. But it's just you probably don't have to deal with this, but we've got the massive oak tree in the back.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but oak pollen.
Yeah.
As far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
It's just a storm of oak pollen and all these little silk inchworm things hanging off. I can't walk outside. I can't throw the dogs a ball without coming back in with like 3 little inchworms inching around on my t-shirt. I'm like finding them in my hats and my shoes. Like, oh, here's another fucking inchworm.
Do you have allergies? with the pollen? You don't sound like it.
No, this particular round of oak does not seem to be getting to me. I have no idea what actually gets to me. I don't know if it's mold or cedar or what.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I think people just make that shit up. They're like, oh, it's the mold that gets me.
For me, I think it is pollen. If it's windy, if it's blowing around.
I feel like I'm sensitive to all of it, but all this oak pollen doesn't seem to have riled me up or flared up my gins, my allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to talk about Nike and then this unnamed brand that I haven't said out loud yet. But first, let's take a quick break and hear from a sponsor. Phil, I'm very, very excited about this because I'm about to get in some hot new product from Ballsy brand. And let's just intro the brand with their most useful product. Producer Randy was just telling us about this thing. It's the Ball Guard ball deodorant, I think, or maybe it was the liquid powder. There's all sorts of great looking products on Ballsy brand's website. You can just sign up for a bundle. You can get all kitted out with pretty much anything. Oh, it's the Ball Guard liquid powder.
I see.
Just helps you keep this humidity. I swear it's more humid this year than it ever has been.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because my Ecobee registers the humidity and it's just constantly telling me that it's too humid in the house. Maybe that's why I'm so sensitive. But look, if you're a man, most of you listening are, you know how the humidity can get to you. That's where the Ball Guard liquid powder comes in. It's like a nice little, refreshing, cool, dry, keeps everything nice and functional down there. There's also all sorts of other, good stuff. There's Liquid Courage body wash. There's the Good Head shampoo. There's the there's stuff for face. There's hair. There's bundles. You can
everything.
You can get it all taken care of with Ballsy. Check it all out. The code is WASHED20 for 20% off your entire purchase. And this is it all smells great. You love your balls, right? So you should be taking better care of them. And Ballsy, they've got your sack. Not only does Ballsy make Ball Guard, the best ball deodorant ever, but they have, like I said, the full line of male hygiene products, from cleansers to freshening sprays, balms, and cologne. Great scents like ocean and air, cedar and citrus, just straightforward stuff for dudes. Go check them out. It's ballsybrand.com, and the code is WASHED20 for 20% off your purchase. Okay, Phil, I'm trying to decide which way I should tackle this conversation. So
Okay.
I'm actually going to start trying to decide if I should flip it or not. Should I flip it? Should I flip it and reverse it?
Sure.
Let's flip it and reverse it.
Okay.
Just like Missy Elliott. Okay. The other day I was leaving Equinox here in Austin. It's on South Congress, and Laura had been wanting some new, has been thinking about like a more lifestyle-y pair of Nikes.
Yeah.
And I left, and I thought to myself, I was like, is there anywhere I can check out on South Congress right now? Stop through real quick, and peep some Nikes or some cool athletic shoes. And I thought about it, and there's not a spot like that there. It's boutiques and vintage, and you've got the Allbirds there, but that's not what I was looking for.
Lulu.
Now. You've got Lulu, but I don't know if they're carrying any shoes. And I decided, and I was specifically kind of thinking about Nike anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, there's really not. I guess I would, you could go up to Dick's Sporting Goods at the Domain or one of the big box stores, Nordstrom, Academy, stuff like that, to look around. But none of these places are where you would actually find any hot product anyway.
Right.
That's a tough scene
Yeah.
in Austin to find. Yesterday, I'm leaving Equinox again. I'm cruising down South Congress. There's constantly stuff. There's so many new things going up, and almost everything has retail space in the bottom.
Yeah.
Whether it's residential or business office space on top. And lo and behold, Phil, there, gleaming over to my left,
Like a mirage.
was a gigantic swoosh.
Yeah.
We're getting a Nike store.
You couldn't be more thrilled.
Phil, this is huge for me. This is huge. Not even Houston ever got a Nike store. Houston doesn't even have a Nike flagship like this. This is reserved for I mean, like, think about all the times that we've spent in New York, like going down to
Yeah.
21 Mercer, or like the Nike towns there with like 5 floors and like
Yeah.
all the shit that you see on the website and would love to be able to see in person, but nobody ever has that stuff.
Right.
I think we're going to be able to see it.
That's incredible. Does it look like it's going to be that big?
It's not 5 stories, no, but it does look very, very large. And now I'm probably putting the horse before the cart here, putting the cart before the horse. The horse does go before the cart.
That's correct.
I'm putting the cart before the horse here. But, you know, it's possible that this is some like offshoot, that this is going to be like mainly running focused or mainly performance focused, and they won't carry much of the lifestyle gear. I have no idea yet. But of course, I'm already getting like amped up. Like, oh, does this mean we're going to be able to get like when Sneakers does the City Pass?
Yeah.
Where it's like you can reserve at the Nike store, and that's like totally that's Chicago, New York, L.A. Right? Are we going to get the bone thrown to us? Maybe it's possible.
That would be incredible.
I'm not ruling it out. At the very least, even if this is not like a Sneakers Pass store where you can go grab Jordans or whatever, like I do hope that they carry a bunch of Nike's cooler product,
right?
You know what I mean? Like the Tech Fleece and the Nike sportswear and maybe some Nike SB. Like I really do hope that this is an awesome Nike store because one, I think it would be super, super successful here. There's no reason it wouldn't be. That, you know, all Outdoor Voices and Lulu, like those stores crush it in Austin in general, and there's nothing else like that on South Congress.
Right.
So it was just really crazy that I was literally thinking about Nike being on South Congress, and it's like I manifested it overnight. And
you haven't searched for this? Did they not have any press on what it's going to be?
Honestly, I have not Googled it yet.
Okay.
But I certainly had not heard that this was coming. And I just Googled like Nike store in Austin, and
nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I hope it's not a pop-up.
No, it's not a pop-up. It's definitely not a pop-up. So the only thing that is semi-concerning right now, you think about those stores that I mentioned, like in New York, they're very like, you know, glass heavy, very like black and white, like, you know, they feel sleek in a way. The initial facade for this Nike store almost has like a 90s vibe. Like it's a little bit more brick, a little bit more blue, red, and orange. Maybe that's just because they need that they're fitting in with the surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Like that would make sense for them to kind of cater to the area. Maybe it means maybe it'll get a lot of ACG. I'd be down with that too. Like focus on like trail and hiking and that their outdoor brand. But all in all, very excited. I'm pumped for this. Hopefully it doesn't let me down terribly.
Man, that's bad news for the retailers, the small guys that carry Nike.
Well, and so that's what I'll use to segue here, because I touched on this with Clayton, our guest last week, about how Nike is there are plenty of news articles about how Nike is pulling out of a lot of retailers. Now it's mostly the mom and pop stores. It's mostly the places where they like didn't feel like their brand was being positioned well enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not leaving Nordstrom, for example.
Yeah.
Right. But them establishing there has been a lot made about how Nike is really, really focusing on their direct to consumer business. So it would actually make sense. I bet that there are other cities that have never had Nike stores that are probably getting them. Like I bet this is an initiative to continue building that direct to consumer relationship by Nike. And I mean the Nike stock prices continue to soar as they've continued to kind of foster that side of the business. So it's possible that they do pull out of more and more retailers, even their bigger partnerships and fancier stores that sell the product well and position and market it well. All that got me thinking about a brand that is kind of doing the opposite. They're definitely not focusing on the direct-to-consumer business. They seem to distinctly be very, very focused on being in literally every retailer that exists.
Right.
And I'm talking about On, the brand On, or full name, I guess, is On Running.
Yeah.
Here's what I know about it. One, it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
2, it's from Switzerland. It's a Swiss brand.
That's it.
And that's it. But they have pulled off an all-out blitz that seems to have occurred in the past 10 months where they are in front of my face at every single juncture. And so I have a little list of like all the various stores that I'm seeing them in. They're in running shoe stores. So you stop by the Loop or Fleet Feet or your local city's like little like specialty running shop.
Yeah.
You're going to find On in there. They're very, and just to talk a little bit about the shoes, when I've handled them a few times, and I did mention I was hoping to have a pair here today. I ordered a pair. I found some like with a credit with a discount code on a luxury e-com site. It was Matches Fashion. And I was like, okay, your marketing is working. Like I need to see a pair of these in person. But they're very lightweight.
Uh-huh.
The laces are really thin and like almost like a Solomon vibe, which makes sense because I think Solomon is Nordic as well. You know,
Sure.
Ski brand. I think I have that right. So they're at your local running specialty store. They're at big department stores like Nordstrom.
Mm-hmm.
They are at online shoe giants like Zappos or Roadrunner Sports. They're in the outdoor spaces like St. Bernard Sports and Huckberry. They are in the trendy women's workout shops like Bandier. And to that note, they are in lots of you go to Lululemon's website, a lot of the models wearing On shoes. And then they are on all of the designer e-com platforms as well. They're on Essence. They're on Matches Fashion. They're on Forward/Revolve. They're on Mr. Porter. So they are constantly in your face. Pretty much anywhere that you end up shopping online and almost anywhere that you end up shopping in person, there's some On running performance shoes right there before you. So how did they pull this off? And that's the other weird thing is like I told you I can say two things about them. It's a Swiss brand. It's a performance running brand. I can't find anything else about online about them. And I thought that when I tried to dig a little deeper into this, I was going to find like, oh, well, they're backed by this VC firm, or oh, it was co-founded by this guy who used to be the head of wholesale for Adidas or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I expected them to have like some big, cornerstone, some big connection that allowed them to pull this off, because it's not easy. I mean, you did sales for a brand.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just get to walk into the Nordstrom offices and be like, we want Nordstrom to carry us.
We're in every other store. Hope
Hey,
y'all don't mind.
hey, Mr. Porter, do you mind carrying us?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
They have to be doing just
It doesn't-
incredible
it
margins.
doesn't
for
go
these
like
people.
that.
There has to be just incredible margins.
So like, for them to be able to pull this off, like, they are either offering like a crazy margin, or they have an unbelievable sales team, or they are able to. It's also possible that they have developed like a very, very cult following, and all of those people have been basically asking for this brand to be, but that doesn't. I don't know. Who writes into Essence or Revolve and it's like, you guys should carry On running.
They're also
because again, it's not like these were hard to find. They are hard to get.
they are featured on some of the homeless population here in Austin too.
Is that right?
I had to boot a guy the other day from Tom's. He had on a fresh pair of On running shoes, and what a glowing, sentiment. Recommendation, I guess. What a great review for these, because the guy walks. I've seen him all over town, from 71 to Barton Springs to Riverside, and he's always got on his On running shoes.
Okay. Maybe somebody gifted him a pair.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they're getting him where he needs to go. First time I ever heard about On was from a retailer of ours back in the day, Mountain High Outfitters.
Okay. Their
Owner was wearing some at the trade show.
Yep.
And couldn't stop talking about him.
Right.
They carried him. And that was...
See, so that almost factors into what I'm saying. The people that had On running shoes are very vocal about them. People do really like them that own them.
Mm-hmm.
So that maybe these retailers all wanted a piece of this growing business.
They don't seem like they would last to me with the
With
holes through this. You know what I mean? I feel like you'd get a year out of them, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're really running.
Yeah. Well, to speak to that end, a couple weekends ago, I was doing a little garden center shopping. Had to stop by Home Depot and Lowe's.
Were you dressing?
You know it.
If you're going to both those places.
I mean, yeah, it was, I had to.
You gotta look
I curated a whole fit.
I'm sure you did
for this thing, for this little outing. No, but jokes aside, I saw probably 20 pairs of these between the two garden centers, and so it's interesting because even though like they're in my face at places that are carrying Gucci and whatever and like Aleeks and like whatever else, like all these obscure and designer and fashiony brands, they've clearly made their way into the mainstream as well. They're all over Home Depot. They're at trade shows in the South. Like so it's just been, it feels like it's happened really quickly. It probably has taken more time than I'm giving it credit for, but this brand is absolutely everywhere. And it drilled itself into my head such that I said, okay, let's see what this is about.
What do they retail at?
Anywhere between like $100 and $150, I think.
Not bad.
I mean, yeah, they're right. I think that you can spend what you want pretty much. I think that there's a range, just like with a lot of the running shoes. So I pulled up one. The Cloud Ultra goes for $180.
Okay.
But a regular Cloud looks like goes for $130. So maybe I had it a little bit low. Maybe it's more like $130 to $180.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'll have a review next week for you.
I can't wait. What are you getting rid of to bring these in?
So I'm actually not getting rid of anything. I've been having this. I don't. After last summer was kind of last summer was the height of the pandy. We were really pretty much shut in, really not doing anything, very few outings, and I just wore I just wore those Merrell Hydro Mocs all summer.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's been a while since I had to like get like my summer fits on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I don't know what shoes I feel like being in this year. And so I'm kind of a spinning top in that way.
But are you going to run in these?
So I specifically chose, let me pull up the pair that I chose.
If you were going to go run right now, what are you wearing?
So I have a pair of New Balance Beacon Ultra Foam something or other. It's like a pretty lightweight, but cushioned, neutral running shoe. But I've not been running, and I probably need a new pair of running shoes. So I would go back to I need to go back to the Loop and get fitted for a new pair. Mm-hmm. So I went with the Cloud X, the On Cloud X trainer, and I like the way these look a lot. And I actually think that my intention for them, if I like the way that they fit and I like the way that they feel, is to have them as like an alternate like shoe for the gym.
Yeah.
Like maybe a HIIT class, maybe on days when I know I'm not going to be trying to like do a bunch of squats or any type of heavy lifting, right?
Power cleans.
Because I think they're going to be I'm sure they're far too cushioned and minimal for that type of stuff. But
Man, you went with the all white. Very rare.
Yes. But the black laces and the black lining and a little bit of the black trim kind of sold me on these.
I love those.
And I like, for a gym shoe, I'm kind of into the white.
Yeah, that's great.
Know. It feels very summery. So I don't know. I just,
those are nice.
We'll see. It kind of an impulse purchase a little bit, but I'm telling you, man, you see something 4,000 times and
I really wish you had them. I want to feel those.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring them back. I'll bring them back next week and We'll give him a feelsy.
Because I want to give Hoka. Is that how you say it? I want to give them just a try.
Yeah.
And you have to go to like Fleet Feet or something, right, to get fitted on those or to.
It's the one on 5th Street that carries them.
I think it's
what is that?
Fleet Feet.
Rogue.
Oh.
Fleet Feet might carry them too. I've not been.
I just want to try them. I feel like I've hated them for so long.
But yeah, the Loop does not carry them, right?
Right. I don't think.
I think it's one of those things where like they want to, but the 2 other shops have them, and so they can't do it. They won't let them carry them or whatever.
I've been seeing some of the Nike, like the higher end Nike running shoes, they've got the huge toe box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those are intriguing as well because I have a very narrow foot and Nike tends to hug my feet very nicely.
Yeah. Through like your arch and heel and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Loop does carry Nike, so you can go test them out there.
Okay.
But one of the other ones definitely carries Hoka, and you can, they'll let you do the whole run around in them and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, just a brand that I've been burning on, finally copped, and just had to mention them. And if anybody has any further information about how or why they did this. Not why, but how.
Why?
Why did you start a business? Why do you want to be successful? No, but I'm just, again, like I thought I was going to be able to find like, some article on like Business Insider or Wired or Business of Fashion or GQ or Esquire or something about this brand. And there's not much out there, but they are everywhere. So, what else we got on the docket for today? Oh, there's I'm just calling this segment. This is just Jared Leto in purple Gucci. Because
with a purse.
You brought this to my attention that he was flexing on us at the Screen Actors Guild Awards in a delightful purple number with a tie around the neck and what looks to be a seashell clutch, I would call it. This is, do you think that, now, how do you think this works? There's an outfit like this, sheer lavender shirt, double-breasted, hot purple blazer.
What is happening? Siri is picking up everything you're saying.
A flared, high-waisted trouser, a necktie, right? All of these things. Like, did Jared and Harry just have to play rock, paper, scissors for this? Or
he's the real Gucci guy, in my opinion.
Okay. More so than Harry.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Harry Styles saw this and probably texted Alessandro.
Yeah. Said, what the fuck?
And was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's all
my purse.
That's all me, bro.
My clutch.
My clutch. But yeah, man. There's certainly nobody better at rocking ombre hair than the balayage than Jared Leto.
He looks great. I think the whole thing's great, aside from the clutch. That's kind of ridiculous, but that's just part of it.
He also looks to have bounced back from like his whole, like, he looks healthy right now.
Yeah.
He was looking kind of goutish for a while and then like too frail.
Well, he takes on these roles where
I know
they
he
just
does.
suck the life out of him.
Well, so this is the back half of our Jared Leto and purple Gucci conversation, because he's also in purple Gucci on the set of what I'm just calling the Gucci movie. House of Gucci, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The Adam Driver Lady Gaga film he's also in, and he's unrecognizable here. He has literally had the life sucked out of him because he's playing an old man. And he's also wearing purple Gucci. And in this case, it looks to be a corduroy suit.
With a weight suit on, too.
Yeah. Which, golf clap for Jared Leto for not just gaining all the weight.
Yeah.
Stop that, dude. Just wear the prosthetics, man. Stop hurting your body like that. But just even more excited for this movie.
Yeah.
As these images continue to get released.
Hit the one where it says bearded Jared Leto to the left. Yeah. See? That's a look.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Sure is. Kind of looks like the Unabomber in that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, quite a few stuff pops up with Jared Leto purple Gucci. He likes his purple Gucci, man.
Yeah. He
But
looks good.
What do you? This is the Screen Actors Guild Award. He was just. There was no show for this, right?
I don't think so.
He basically just like did his own little catwalk in wherever this is.
Yeah.
Look at him flaunt this. Looks great. You know.
See, I love those pants. It's just so much of a bell bottom, right? Like you could never pull that off.
It would be difficult. Yes. Yeah, it's very directional, very editorial. Not something you're going to see a lot of in real life.
I could see Randy in something like that, though. He could pull that off.
I mean, Randy likes boots.
He does.
And flared bottoms do go well with boots.
Mm-hmm.
Randy could definitely get some content off with flared bootcut trousers, I feel like.
And a clutch.
I don't know about the clutch.
No clutch?
Yeah.
He could have his audio equipment in there.
That's true. Little mini podcast recorder.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have today? Anything else that I wanted to touch on? Well, it's Masters Week. The Masters start tomorrow.
Can't wait. Is that the par 3s tomorrow?
Par 3's today.
It's today?
Yeah. It's Wednesday, man.
Fuck.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a 4-day tournament. That's how these things work. Everybody's talking about the golf renaissance. We touched on this a few months ago with brands like Random Golf Club, and we spoke to Malbon specifically. Yeah. Malcolm so Clayton in his Spreza newsletter from last week, he did his his newsletter this week was all about, the renaissance in golf attire. And so Bogey Boys is Macklemore's one, which almost has like a cricket feel, but like even more vintage with
Bogey Boys.
I
like that.
Yeah. Have you seen some of this stuff?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna pull
Great
this up
name.
And then one that I did want to touch on specifically, and just to kind of to talk about, see, like here's I got Bogey Boys up.
That's cool.
Big collars, kind of.
That's great.
Pinstripes.
It's like bowling meets golf.
Yeah, there's this cardigan that they did, kind of like a baby Carolina blue cardigan.
I love that with the chain stitching.
And then another one that I wanted to touch on, and here's how crazy this has gotten. I discovered this brand, and I included one of these pieces in one of our Patreon editorials. But I discovered this brand on Notre. I know. I've been calling it Notre since I shopped this, but I think it's actually Notre. Whatever. Anyway, Notre. I don't know. Anyway, it's based out of Chicago, which makes sense since Notre is a Chicago-based shop. But like, this is how I discovered this Wim Golf brand, is because a little small designer luxury boutique is suddenly carrying it. But I think this one, even more than Malbon, speaks to how this is trickling down into just wearable items. Like this is a nylon sports short. You know what I mean? You don't have to. There's no reason that you could have to golf in this. And how about these front cargo trousers?
Now that's what I'm golfing in.
See, like I think these are awesome.
Yeah.
And
look at the Solomons.
Hell yeah,
those look good.
Yeah.
See, that's what I need. I need some of those.
So this also was making me think there's between Bogey Boys and then like Wim Golf, there's a Todd Snyder FootJoy coming out as well. Let's see if we can find some stuff about this. And here's my question to you. With all this, with all this kind of golf like lifestyle stuff coming into play, let me see if I can find like a picture of what these are probably going to look like. Because my question is, and obviously Nike has been kind of a part of this as well. They're doing a lot of cool golf stuff. There's plenty on the website. There's obviously a ton of cool Jordan golf sneakers. There's the Nike, all sorts of Air Maxes that are becoming golf shoes, and with Brooks Koepka wearing the off-whites on the golf course. Anyway, which direction? Because it kind of split. You have like your more modern, almost like streetwear vibes with like Nike and Malbon and Wim, but then you have like Bogey Boys and Todd Snyder and FootJoy and some of the other stuff that's kind of pushing into the vintage aspect.
Yeah.
So are you put those on the scale for me? Are you preferring one or the other?
I would prefer vintage.
You like the vintage?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I like the sportier.
Yeah.
Like I like the.
See, that's why we work.
Yeah, totally.
You know.
Look at us. Yeah, but because I want to be, I don't know. I like the idea of my golf attire working for other sports, basically, or for other activities.
Mm-hmm. That's
And-
why I think cricket's great because it is a vintage vibe.
Yeah, cricket fits in, right along with this, like Bogey Boys and the Todd Snyder FootJoy capsule stuff. So, and there's obviously there's a blend too. I think Nike blends it well. Some of this stuff that I'm seeing here on this flat lay kind of feels a little vintage, a little modern. I think Malbon's done some of those knit polos that you like.
I just hope that we've seen the death of the oversized golf attire.
Oh, I think that's way gone.
Yeah, good.
I was watching.
That's why I never owned a golf shirt.
I was watching. Yeah, right. I mean, I have some ones from the last, I would say, 5 years that are not, they don't come down to my elbows.
Yeah.
But they still allow for a range of movement. But I think Nike especially started trimming up their golf shirts, and I think others kind of followed suit. And as guys like Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods were like, hey, we've got muscles now. Like
Koepka.
Let's show these bad boys off. Everything kind of tightened up a little bit. So much so that, as things go, I was watching Spieth on Sunday, Jordan Spieth, and I was like, these trousers, they're too tight.
Obviously not. He won.
Which I just think is kind of a perfect encapsulation. It's just really funny, right? Because like for years and years and years, we're like, God, what is up with these giant trousers and these giant golf shirts? And so of course now, like the guys on tour, I'm like, maybe just loosen it up a little bit. Like, of course as we've started swinging the other way, golf is reaching the peak of super slim fits on the players. And
another thing that can go away is the white belt.
Yeah,
that's got to go.
That's a relic that seems to have far outlasted its
last thing I'm going to say on
its
this.
status as a good golf trend.
I love going to like the Del Mash Play or the Houston Open and seeing the guys that look like they have come dressed to walk out on the course and play.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? They're wearing golf shoes like with spikes. Why would you do that?
You're still walking a course?
They're not comfortable. Wear running shoes if you have to. If you just must be in golf attire, the running shoe is so much more comfortable than a golf shoe typically. Golf shoes are rigid.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's it. That's all I have, Barrett. That's it.
But what about are you also salting the guys wearing golf polos out there?
No, that's fine.
That's it.
I'm talking about the guy that looks like he's just itching to jump over that rope.
Yeah.
And take a swing.
You know what I think? A piece of that. I don't know. I don't understand the golf shoes thing either. That seems a step too far. But do you ever? Is there ever a week or a weekend where you have a stronger desire to play golf than Masters Week?
Yeah, because I want to sit at home and watch it.
Well, I know, but doesn't it? But like the week
it makes
after
you. Yeah, you're
the
like,
week
I gotta
after
get
the
back out
Masters,
there. Gotta
right?
get back out there.
Oh man, I gotta get back out there.
Work on that swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some lessons this year.
When is the last golf lesson you had?
Oh, decades.
Uh-huh.
But I do really want some. I'd love to get some golf lessons.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm close, Phil. I'm close. I just need a little swing. I just need a little coaching.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Be out there in no time. You always play best when you're by yourself and then nobody believes you.
That's definitely true.
That's the thing.
Yeah. But I do. I mean,
That's why I video all my rounds.
Just a full GoPro.
Yeah.
This is where you need the drone.
Shot for shot.
You can just have a drone following you, recording the whole thing.
There you go.
Then you get to look at your swing too.
And analyze
analyze it and work on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean the Masters always kind of geeks me up to get back out there a little bit, and it helps that I did play a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 now, and I want to keep it going.
You played well.
Plus, I played okay for not having played in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid contact.
Oh yeah.
That's all I asked for.
Yeah. Even had a few nice drives.
Ooh.
Tell you what. But all this hot new gear, it gets me even more amped up.
Yeah.
Now what I need is the clubs.
That's key.
I need some new clubs.
See, I bought new clubs.
Yeah.
And now I need to get the clubs cut down. That's something I've never done, and I know it would help.
Yes. Did you get fitted for clubs?
No, I just bought them online.
Okay. I want to do the whole thing. I want to get fitted.
You want to get fitted for clubs and fitted.
Yes. I want to come out there.
Stunt.
Just, yeah. But I need the lessons too.
Yeah.
Because if I come out there stunting, I got to break 100.
Yeah.
That'd be ideal. I can't go 102 with all new everything.
Yeah.
But if anybody, that would be very on brand for me to do that. Brand new clubs, brand new kit,
and just duffing it everywhere.
103.
Do you drink when you're on the course?
Oh yes,
you do. See, that's the problem. Well, maybe not for you.
No, it's not.
I get tired. I get sleepy out there when I start boozing. That's why I reserve the back nine for a few beers.
Okay, so that is incidentally exactly what I did this last round, and I played far worse on the back nine. I had a really nice front nine actually, but I attributed that less to the drinking of the beers and more to the fact that it had been a while, like I said, since I played 18. And what always hits me that first round back is like it's an endurance sport a little bit too. Like you're out there for 5 damn hours basically.
God, it's too long.
It is.
It's too long.
So by like hole 13, 14, if you're not not in practice, it is like it's mental, it's physical, it's everything. You start losing concentration, you start losing focus, you start getting more annoyed about the, duffing the chip and shanking the drive and all that. So it's you got to be almost even more than the consistency of the swing. It's like the more you play, the more you get used to the long haul. But no, golf is awesome because you get to drink while you do it. I'm not going to say it's my favorite part, but I do. It is a great day activity.
It is.
And great day activities are almost unilaterally improved by the consumption of a few cold beers.
Correct.
So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Very good.
Everybody, thank you for listening. Do me a favor. People are starting to get back out there, Yeah. Last weekend, I got to do a couple things. I did something Friday night and I did something Saturday. It was pretty glorious. I saw people that I hadn't seen in quite some time. I made some new friends. And it felt very good. So, in place of pitching Patreon today, I would just ask that you just talk about the podcast. If the opportunity comes up with friends that you may have not seen in a while, maybe some new friends, maybe some people that you're reconnecting with, just, suggest the podcast for them if you think they might like what we've been into the last few weeks. I was actually just talking about the podcast, and I feel like our last several episodes have really been good ones for people that are new to the podcast. We've been less focused on we've not done really long segments about very specific fashion-y stuff. We've had some broader conversations about more just lifestyle and kind of general stuff that I think really works for introing people to the podcast. So if you have an opportunity, share the podcast with your friends. Would greatly appreciate that. And thanks again for listening. Phil, any final words?
Go get a vaccine.
Get vaxxed up. Snatched, waxed, and vaxxed. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.